The session is called to order. Please rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong paghaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng wataw at mo'y tagumpay na nagpinipil, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng waraming pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling ko. Aming ligaya na pag may mga atin, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for a minute of silent prayer. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we proceed with the calling of the roll, the members of Congress.
The Secretary General is directed to call the roll of members.
Roll call of members, honorable representatives: Abalos, Abante, Abunda, Acharon, Asidre, Acop, Adjong, Advincula, Agaraw, Alba, Albano, Almario,
Recording
Albonte,
in progress.
Alonte, Alvarez Jose, Alvarez Mercedes, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante, Amatong, Angara, Aquino, Aquino Magsaysay, Arbison, Arenas, Arrogancia, Asistio, Atayde, Aumentado, Balindong, Barba, Barbers, Baronda, Barzaga, Pascug, Bautista, Bautista Lim, Benitez, Bernos, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bongalon, Bordado, Bosita, Briones, Brosas, Buhain, Bulutwektang, Bustos, Cabredo, Cagas, Kahayun Uy, Calderon, Calixto, Campos, Kawagdan, Cardema, Cari, Castro Franz, Castro Jane, Celeste, Chan, Chato, Chua, Chungalaw, Ko Angelica Natasha, Ko Elizaldi, Ko Pilar, Ko Juanco Jaime, Ko Juanco Mark, Colada, Colliantes, Corvera, Cruz Ambrosio, Cruz Ricardo, Cuwa, Quaresma, Tagook, Dalipe, Dalog, Dayanghirang, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, Defensor, Del Mar, De Los Santos, Dimaporo Muhammad Khalid, Dimaporo City Amina, Dionisio, Domingo, Duavit, Duhali, Duterte, D. Faustino Ino, D. D. Faustino Michael Carlos, D. Ian Paul, Ecleo, Emano, Enciso, Enverga, Escudero, Espares, Espina, Estrella, Yudela, Fariñas, Fernandez, Ferrer Antonio, Ferrer Juliet Marie, Flores, Fortes, Frasco, Fresnedi, Fuentebella, Galios, Garcia Albert, Garcia Dante, Garcia Jose Arturo, Garcia Maria Angela, Garcia Pablo Jan, Garcia Vincent, Garjola, Garin, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Gato, Go Ed Christopher, Go Mark, Goles, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzales Aurelio, Gonzales Neftali, Gonzales Sandro, Goriseta, Guico, Gintu, Gulyas, Gutierrez, Hagidorn, Haresco, Hataman, Hernandez, Herrera, Horibata, Javier, Ko Olga Ara, Ko Ricardo, Ko Wilton, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lakson, Lakson Noel, Lagman, Lagon Daphne, Lagon Sani, Lara, Lasatin, Lee, Legarda, Libanan, Limkay Chong, Loyola, Luistro, Lumayag, Makapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Magsino, Malapitan, Mangawang, Manikis, Manuel, Maranyon, Margoleta, Marcos, Mariano Hernandez, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Mastura, Matibag, Matugas, Mendoza, Mercado, Mercado Revilla, Miguel, Momo, Morden, Nava, Nisay, Noel, Nograles Juan Fidel Felipe, Nograles Margarita, Nolasco, Huaminal, Olaso, Olivares, Onchuan, Ordanes, Ortega, Oano Dizon, Padiernos, Paduano, Paglas, Palma, Panaligan, Pancho, Panotes, Pascual, Peña, Pimentel, Plaza, Pleito, Primicias Agabas, Kumaren, Puno, Kimbo, Rama, Recto, Regencia, Revilla Brian, Revilla Ramon Jolo, Reyes, Rillo, Rivera, Robes, Rodriguez Eulogio, Rodriguez Rufus, Roman, Romero, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, Romualdez Yeda Marie, Romualdo, Romulo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sakaluran, Salceda, Sali, Salimbangon, Salo, Salvame, Santos, Saulog, Silverio, Singson Richel, Singson Ronald, Singson Mihan, Solon, Soriano, Suwan, Suansing Horacio, Suansing Micaela Angela, Suarez, Talyado, Tamayo, Tambunting, Tan Joseph, Tan Keith Micah, Tan Reynolds Michael, Tan Samier, Tan Stephen James, Tan Tambut, Tan Chay, Tan Tuatco, Tariela, Teodoro, Teves Arnolfo, Teves Jose, Tiangco, Tieng, Tolentino, Tulfo Jocelyn, Tulfo Ralph Wendel, Tupas, Tutor, T, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Valeriano, Valmayor, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velasco, Veloso Tuazon, Vergara, Versosa, Villa, Villafuerte Luis Raymond, Villafuerte Miguel Luis, Villanueva, Villar, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Violago, Yap Christiantel, Yap Christopherson, Yap Edvic, Yap Eric, Yu Divine Grace, Yu Jaisel Victoria, Yulo, Zamora Amparo Maria, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Isabel Maria, Zubiri. Madam Speaker, the roll call shows that 310 members responded to the call.
With 310 members responding to call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, insofar as the journal is still being reviewed by the Secretariat, may I move for the deferral of the approval of the journal?
There's a motion to defer the approval of the journal. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we proceed with the reference of business and instruct the Secretariat to read the bills to be referred to the appropriate committee. So moved.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bills and
Reference of business. Bills on first reading. House Bill 5586, mandating the observance of 23 November of every year as National Consciousness Day to End Impunity, by Representatives Castro France, Brosas, and Manuel.
to the Committee on Human Rights.
House Bill 5587, providing for one service laptop for every public school teacher in the Philippines, by Representatives Castro France, Brosas, and Manuel.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5588, providing for a national fertilizer program, by Representatives Suarez and Villarasa Suarez.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5589, expanding and strengthening assistance to students and teachers in private basic education, by Representative Saldo.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill numbers 5590 and 5591, establishing progressive senior high school and progressive elementary school in the city of Bacoor, Cavite, by Representative Mercado Revilla.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5592, defining strategic lawsuits against public participation, by Representatives Castro France, Brosas, and Manuel.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5593, creating the Department of Economics and Development Planning, by Representative Benitez.
To the Committee on Government Reorganization, the Committee on Economic Affairs.
House Bill 5594, to facilitate the immediate burial of Muslim cadaver in accordance with Islamic rites, by Representative Sakaluran.
To the Committee on Muslim Affairs.
House Bill 5595, providing for the inclusion of fragile health and or advanced age as grounds for the release of an accused in a criminal case, by Representatives Castro France, Brosas, and Manuel.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5600, increasing the bed capacity of Bataan General Hospital and Medical Center in Balanga City, Bataan, and upgrading its services to include the operation of a cancer center, by Representative Garcia Albert.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5601, providing for the Magna Carta for agricultural workers, establishing a revitalized agriculture value chain, by Representative Roman.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5602, granting Radio de Oro Corporation, Incorporated, a franchise to construct, install, establish, operate, and maintain radio and television broadcasting stations in Cagayan de Oro City and province of Misamis Oriental, by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
House Bill 5606, providing for modernization funding for the Bureau of Animal Industry, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5607, providing for modernization funding for the Bureau of Plant Industry, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5608, providing for modernization funding for the Fertilizer and Pesticide Authority, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5612, providing for modernization funding for the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 5613, providing for modernization funding for the National Security Council, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 5614, providing for modernization funding for the Office of Civil Defense, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 5615, increasing the number of courts in San Juan City, by Representative Zamora Isabel Maria.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5616, establishing the Science for Change program, by Representative Marquez.
To the Committee on Science and Technology.
House Bill 5617, modernizing the national measurement system of the Philippines, by Representative Marquez.
To the Committee on Science and Technology.
House Bill 5618, providing the use of motor vehicles without mufflers or those that are defective or have been modified, which increase the sound emitted by motor vehicles, by Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 5619, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Coast Guard, by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 5620, providing for tax incentives for employees on a work-from-home or telecommuting program, by Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 5621, to develop an educational strategy that addresses the educational needs of all members of local communities, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5622, penalizing prank callers to emergency hotlines, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5623, providing for automatic membership of professionals in their respective accredited professional organizations, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 5624, granting bereavement leave of 10 days with full pay to all employees in the private and public sectors, by Representative Villafuerte.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment and the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 5625, recognizing businesses which show an exemplary commitment to participating with schools to enhance educators' technology capabilities and to make every student technologically literate, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5626, providing for the Code of Professional Standards for the practice of political public relations, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 5627, establishing educational technology clearinghouses, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5628, to develop and strengthen the agricultural education and training in the country, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill 5629, to establish the National Commission on Entrepreneurial Education, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprise Development.
House Bill 5630, to establish an environmental marketing claims monitoring program, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill 5631, expanding the function of the Lupong Tagapamayapa, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 5632, penalizing the dissemination of false information as to the presence of bombs, explosives, and other incendiary devices in high-density or sensitive places, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5633, granting incentives to Filipino filmmakers who were given honors in notable international film festivals, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Special Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts.
House Bill 5634, regulating the sale, distribution, and use of firecrackers and other pyrotechnic devices, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5635, amending the Philippine Foreign Service Act of 1991 by deleting the requirement of confirmation by the Commission on Appointments of Foreign Service Officers who joined the Foreign Service through lateral entry, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
House Bill 5636, improving and strengthening the recruitment and training of Filipino teachers, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5637, institutionalizing the mandatory use of the names West Philippine Sea or Kandurang Dagat ng Pilipinas to refer to the marine areas on the western side of the Philippines, by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
To the Special Committee on West Philippine Sea.
House Bill 5638, providing for the creation of municipal special education centers for the deaf, mute, and blind children by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill 5639, expanding the prohibition of discriminatory acts against women on account of sex by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 5640, requiring new commercial, institutional, and residential infrastructure projects in Metro Manila and major cities in the Philippines to install rainwater retention facilities by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Public Works and Highways,
House Bill 5641, providing for the rank classification in the Bureau of Fire Protection and Bureau of Jail Management and Penology by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Public Order and Safety,
House Bill 5642, providing for a moratorium of rental payment and eviction during disasters and other emergencies by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Disaster Resilience,
House Bill numbers 5643 and 5644, converting road networks in the municipalities of Libmanan and Pamplona into national roads by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Public Works and Highways,
House Bill 5645, rationalizing the law against gambling and or betting by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Revision of Laws,
House Bill 5646, establishing living facilities for public school teachers by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill 5647, establishing a comprehensive training program for teachers of children with handicap by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill 5648, to allow employees to take school involvement leave to participate in the academic school activities of their children or to participate in literacy training by Representative Villafuerte Luis Raymond.
to the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 5649, creating 2 additional branches of family courts in the National Capital Judicial Region to be stationed in Valenzuela City by Representative Gatchalian.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill 5650, providing a Magna Carta of Public Disaster Risk and Emergency Responders by Representative Robes.
to the Committee on Disaster Resilience,
House Bill 5651, providing for modernization funding for the Bureau of Soils and Water Management by Representative Romero.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill 5652, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Fiber Industry and Development Authority by Representative Romero.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill 5654, providing for the condonation of all unpaid principal interest, penalties, or surcharges on loans secured by agrarian reform beneficiaries under the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program by Representative Tambunting.
to the Committee on Agrarian Reform,
House Bill 5655, establishing regional branches of specialty hospitals by Representative Tambunting.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 5656, providing for the Magna Carta of Barangay Health Workers by Representative Tambunting.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 5657, reforming the National Apprenticeship Program by Representative
to
Tambunting.
the Committee on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 5658, establishing the National Energy Policy and Regulatory Framework for facilities utilizing waste-to-energy technologies by Representative Tambunting.
to the Committee on Ecology and the Committee on Energy,
House Bill 5659, establishing the District Office of Land Transportation Office in San Miguel, Iloilo by Representative
to
Goriseta.
the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill 5660, strengthening the Witness Protection Security and Benefit Program by Representative Villanueva.
to the Committee on Justice,
House Bill 5661, institutionalizing skills training program and providing job opportunities to inmates in detention facilities by Representative Villanueva.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 5662, promoting local government empowerment in order to achieve inclusive development by Representative
to
Villanueva.
the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 5663, strengthening the employment rights of members of the Reserve Force of the Armed Forces of the Philippines by Representative
to
Villanueva.
the Committee on National Defense and Security,
House Bill 5664, mandating public telecommunication entities to disclose service coverage data to the public by Representative
to the
Villanueva.
Committee on Information Communications Technology,
House Bill 5665, amending the Quarantine Act of 2004 to foster the imposition of existing policies and guidelines, increasing its penalties and sanctions by Representative Romero.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 5666, providing for the modernization funding for the Bureau of Quarantine by Representative Romero.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 5667, requiring the instruction of disaster awareness and mitigation as part of the curriculum in all primary and secondary schools by Representative Arrogancia.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5668, converting the LTO Extension Office in Catanawan, Quezon into a regular LTO District Office of Bondoc Peninsula, Quezon by Representative
To the
Arrogancia.
Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 5669, promoting inclusive and sustainable economic development through institutionalization of the One Town, One Product Philippines program by Representative
To
Arrogancia.
the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 5670, reverting the name of Ben Palispis Highway to its original name, Marcos Highway, by Representative Yap Eric.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 5671, regulating the operations and imposition of fees for the use of parking spaces and parking facilities in various establishments by Representatives Duterte, Yap Eric, Yap Edvic, and Soriano.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 5672, giving tax credit to physicians rendering pro bono services to poor patients by Representatives Duterte, Yap Eric, Yap Edvic, and Soriano.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 5673, establishing information and communications technology hubs nationwide by Representatives Duterte, Yap Eric, Yap Edvic, and Soriano.
To the Committee on Information Communications Technology.
House Bill 5674, amending the Philippine Mechanical Engineering Act of 1998 to update the scope of responsibilities of mechanical engineers by Representative Campos.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 5675, creating additional branches of regional trial courts and municipal trial courts in the cities in the 2nd District of Zamboanga del Norte by Representative Labad-Labad.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5676, defining salt as an aquatic resource and establishing a comprehensive salt industry enhancement program by Representative Lee.
To the Committee on Aquaculture and Fisheries Resources.
House Bill 5677, establishing the National Coastal Greenbelt Zones and the National Coastal Greenbelt Management Action Plan by Representative Chato.
To the Committee on Climate Change.
House Bill 5678, lowering the optional retirement age of government employees from 60 to 56 years by Representative
To
Chato.
the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization.
House Bill 5679, adjusting the monthly pension and disability benefits of retirees of the DFA by Representative Chato.
To the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
House Bill 5680, establishing the San Nicolas Elementary School in Bacoor, Cavite, and renaming it to Leon Ginto Senior Elementary School by Representative Mercado Revilla.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5681, establishing the Philippine e-health system and services in support of universal health care by Representative Villar.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5682, designating the month of November as Buy Pinoy, Build Pinoy Month by Representative
To
Villar.
the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 5683, establishing the Philippine Virology Science and Technology Institute by Representative Villar.
To the Committee on Health and the Committee on Science and Technology.
House Bill 5684, safeguarding the health of Filipino mothers at the time of their childbirth by Representative Villar.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5685, establishing an e-library in Las Piñas City by Representative Villar.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5686, establishing a cancer medicine and treatment assistance fund for indigent and underprivileged Filipinos by Representative
To
Villar.
the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5687, declaring a portion of the Philippine rice is situated in the exclusive economic zone of the Philippine Sea as protected area with category of marine resource reserve by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 5688, institutionalizing the grant of a teaching supplies allowance for public basic education teachers by Representative Villanueva.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5689, authorizing the COMELEC to use and implement an automated and online systems for voter registration by Representative Villanueva.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill 5690, strengthening the procedure for registration of voters during barangay elections by Representative Villanueva.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill 5691, granting distinctive honors and privileges to national athletes, creating a national endowment fund for sports heroes by Representative Villanueva.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Bill 5692, modifying the grounds for substitution of candidates by Representative Villanueva.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill 5694, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Institute of Traditional and Alternative Health Care by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5695, providing for modernization funding for the Film Development Council of the Philippines by Representative Romero.
To the Special Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts.
House Bill 5696, providing for the modernization funding for the Cooperative Development Authority by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Cooperatives Development.
House Bill 5697, an act providing for modernization funding for the Food and Drug Administration by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5698, amending the FDA Act of 2009 to foster the imposition of existing policies and guidelines, increasing its penalties and sanctions by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5699, granting 10% discount rate and exempting from the VAT the monthly electric consumption of PWDs by Representative Dagook and De Jesus.
To the Special Committee on Persons with Disabilities.
House Bill 5700, declaring San Andres, Romblon a tourism development area by Representative Madrona.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill 5701, establishing tourism circuits in the 1st District of Samar, identifying and declaring the tourism development areas therein, creating the Samar Province Tourism Council by Representative Tan Stephen James.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill 5703, renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Multiline Construction International, Incorporated, presently known as the Multiline Communications Incorporated, by Representative Fortes.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
House Bill 5704, providing for mandatory appointment of building official in provinces, cities, and municipalities by Representative Magsino.
To the Committee on Local Government.
House Bill 5705, restructuring the Philippine National Railway System, creating the Philippine Railway Authority by Representative Alvarez Pantaleon.
To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization, the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 5706, providing for the conduct of hybrid national, local, and ARMM elections through manual voting and counting of the precinct level, and automated transmission and canvassing by Representative Alvarez Pantaleon.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill 5707, creating the National Lanzones Research Center by Representative Romualdo.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5708, increasing the recruitment quota requirement of the female officers by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5709, creating the Code Commission of the Philippines to review and codify Philippine laws by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Revision of Laws.
House Bill 5710, establishing the National Police Clearance System by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5711, conferring the cadets of the Philippine National Police Academy the status of government employees and granting them the civil service eligibility and benefits and privileges by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5712, providing for the strengthening of the recruitment, selection, and appointment process of uniformed personnel of the PNP by Representative Rodriguez Rufus.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 5713, prohibiting the establishment of operation of cockpits and other structures or facilities for holding cockfights near schools and other educational institutions, church buildings, and other places of worship and hospitals by Representative Abante.
To the Committee on Games and Amusements.
House Bill 5714, exempting Bibles and other religious articles and certain merchandise from taxes, duties, fees, and other charges, exempting churches from requirements of tax exemption certificates in availing tax exemptions by Representative
To
Abante.
the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 5715, exempting church ministers, priests, rabbis, and imams from securing government license to solemnize marriage by Representative Abante.
To the Committee on Revision of Laws.
House Bill 5716, amending the Family Code of the Philippines on property relations between husband and wife and on support by Representative Abante.
To the Committee on Revision of Laws.
House Bill 5717, recognizing, defining, and protecting the rights of heterosexuals by Representative Abante.
To the Committee on Women and Gender Equality.
House Bill 5718, defining parental rights and authority over minor and unemancipated children by Representative
To
Abante.
the Committee on Population Family Relations.
House Bill 5720, mandating the BJMP to exercise supervision and control over provincial jails by Representative Yu.
To the
Diaz.
Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5721, granting Philippine citizenship to Benny Lee by Representative Garin.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5722, making voters' education mandatory in the high school curriculum in both public and private schools by Representative Olivares.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 5723, providing for automatic adjustment of the basic monthly pension for retired public school teachers covered by the GSIS by Representative Ordanes.
To the Committee on Government Enterprises and Privatization.
House Bill 5724, mandating the BJMP to exercise supervision and control over provincial jails by Representative Yu Jaisal Victoria.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 5725, declaring June 16 of every year as special non-working holiday in Iligan City to commemorate its founding anniversary to be known as Araw ng Iligan, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 5726, converting the Arteche campus of the Eastern Samar State University located in Arteche, Eastern Samar into a regular campus, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, and Asidre.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 5727, institutionalizing the creation of Economic and Investment Promotion Officer in LGUs, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Local Government,
House Bill 5728, institutionalizing and the expanded tertiary education equivalency and accreditation program, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 5729, establishing the Iligan General Hospital in Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Health,
House Bill 5730, providing for the development of the jackfruit industry in Eastern Visayas, creating the Jackfruit Research and Development Centers, establishing the Jackfruit Subsidy Fund, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill 5731, establishing an extension office of the LTO in Dolores, Eastern Samar, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, and Asidre.
to the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill 5732, appropriating the amount of 800 million pesos for the construction of the Makapagal Makaraeg International Convention Center to be located in Barangay Buruon, Iligan City, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Appropriations,
House Bill 5733, renaming the Tambakan Bridge in Iligan City as Mariano Luch Badella Senior Bridge, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and
to
Asidre.
the Committee on Public Works and Highways,
House Bill 5734, declaring the Metropolitan Cathedral of Our Lord's Transfiguration in Palo, Leyte as a protected cultural heritage site, by Representatives Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie, Romualdez Ferdinand Martin, and Asidre.
to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture,
House Bill 5735, to institute the National Commission on the Family, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Population Family Relations,
House Bill 5736, declaring the first day of February of every year as National Hijab Day and promoting an understanding of the Muslim tradition of wearing hijab, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Muslim Affairs,
House Bill 5737, establishing the NSC Special Economic Zone in Iligan City, Lanao del Norte, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Economic Affairs and the Committee on Trade and Industry,
House Bill 5738, creating an advanced studies development program for exceptional employees from the government and private sector, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation and the Committee
House-
on Labor and Employment,
House Bill 5739, institutionalizing the Philippine Fiber Industry Development Program, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill 5740, increasing the annual female recruitment quota for PNP as well as setting a minimum quota for annual female recruitment in BFP and BJMP, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and
to
Asidre.
the Committee on Public Order and Safety,
House Bill 5741, declaring Sitio Timoga in Barangay Buruon in Iligan City, Lanao del Norte as the Timoga Ecotourism Zone, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and
to the
Asidre.
Committee on Tourism,
House Bill 5742, to rationalize existing penal laws against large-scale agricultural smuggling, by Representative
to
Lee.
the Committee on Agriculture and Food,
House Bill 5743, providing medical scholarships in state universities and colleges to qualified students, by Representative
to
Olivares.
the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 5744, providing medical scholarships to qualified students in all municipalities, establishing the One Town, One Doctor Scholarship Program, by Representative
to
Olivares.
the Committee on Higher and Technical Education,
House Bill 5745, providing for the mandatory installation of dashboard cameras or dashcam systems in vehicles operating for public utility, by Representative
to
Olivares.
the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill 5746, providing for the protection of the rights of airline passengers, by Representatives Romualdez Siada Marie and Asidre.
to the Committee on Transportation,
House Bill 5747, mandating all branches of government, including GOCCs and LGUs, to adhere to the sustainable procurement of goods and services, by Representative Villanueva.
to the Committee on Sustainable Development Goals,
House Bill 5748, abolishing the Procurement Services Department of Budget and Management, by Representative Pimentel.
to the Committee on Government Reorganization,
House Bill 5749, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Textile Research Institute, by Representative Romero.
to the Committee on Science and Technology,
House Bill 5750, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Science and Technology.
House Bill 5751, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 5752, providing for modernization funding for the Philippine Council for Industry, Energy, and Emerging Technology Research and Development by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Science and Technology.
House Bill 5753, granting a 50% discount from funeral services to indigent families and free funeral services to extremely poor families nationwide by Representatives Castro Franz, Brosas, and Manuel.
To the Committee on Poverty Alleviation.
House Bill 5754, amending Section 18 of the Urban Development and Housing Act of 1992 by strengthening the socialized housing project of LGUs by Representative Loyola.
To the Committee on Housing and Urban Development.
House Bill 5755, providing for modernization funding for the Bureau of Agricultural Research by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 5756, providing for modernization funding for the Agricultural Training Institute by Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
Communications, letters from certain local chief executives informing the House of Representatives that their reports on fund utilization and status of program project implementation of the LGSF as of September 30, 2022 were posted on their official websites and in 3 conspicuous public places in their locality.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letters dated October 7, 14, and 21, 2022 of the Deputy Director and Acting Head Office of the General Counsel and Legal Services, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, transmitting duly certified copies of certain BSP issuances.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Letter dated October 13, 2022 of the CESB Board Executive Director submitting a copy of their quarterly physical report of operation as of September 30, 2022.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
Committee reports. Committee report numbers 101 to 134 submitted by the Committee on Local Government on House Bill numbers 5891 to 5852 respectively.
To 5819.
5819 to 5852.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move that we proceed with the unfinished business and resume consideration of House Bill 4102 under Committee Report number 24. And for this purpose, may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the measure.
House Bill 4102, an act imposing excise tax on plastic bags, thereby amending new section 150-C and 288H in the National Internal Revenue Code of 1987 as amended.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that we have terminated the period of sponsorship and debate. Madam Speaker, I now move that we open the period of amendments.
There's a motion to open the period of amendments. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the sponsor of House Bill 4102, Honorable Mika Swansing.
Honorable Mika Swansing is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for a 5-minute suspension.
Session suspended. Nag-aim. Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I now move that we proceed with individual amendments.
There's a motion to proceed to the individual amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Honorable Ria Vergara for her individual amendments.
The Honorable Ria Vergara is recognized for her individual amendment.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Is the honorable sponsor willing to listen and accept some amendments?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I would be happy to consider the individual amendments proposed by the Honorable Ria Vergara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On page 1, line 1, insert the word single-use before the word plastic. The short title of the bill shall now read as follows: Single-Use Plastic Bags Tax Act.
What does the sponsor say?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I accept.
What does the House say? Majority Leader.
We approve, Madam Speaker, on behalf of the majority.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The amendment is accepted.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the same page, line 7, under section 3, kindly insert the word single-use before the word plastic.
What does the sponsor say?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I accept.
What does the House say?
On behalf of the majority, we approve, Madam Speaker.
There's a motion to accept the said amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
On page 2, lines 2 and 3, under section 3, adding section 150-C in the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended, please replace the phrase 20 pesos with 100 pesos.
What does the sponsor say?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I accept.
What does the House say?
I move that we approve the amendment.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Likewise, on page 2, line 3, insert the word single-use before the word plastic. And on the same page, after line 5, insert a new paragraph which shall read as follows. The rate of tax imposed under this subsection shall be increased by 4% every year effective on January 1, 2026 through revenue regulations issued by the Secretary of Finance.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept both amendments, Madam Speaker.
What does the House say?
I move that we approve the proposed amendment, Madam Speaker.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On page 2, line 6, insert the word single-use before the word plastic. And on line 8, replace the phrase commonly known as with the phrase such as ice.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept both amendments, Madam Speaker.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
On the same page, page 2, line 10, I propose we insert the word single-use before the word plastic. And on section 4, we amend section 288 of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended. We delete lines 31 to 39 and replace them with the following. H, disposition of incremental revenues from the excise tax on single-use plastic bags. The incremental revenues from the imposition of the excise tax on single-use plastics bags shall be allocated to programs of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for the implementation of Republic Act number 9003, otherwise known as the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000 in municipalities.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept both amendments, Madam Speaker.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And finally, Madam Speaker, we amend the title of House Bill number 4102, and the new title shall read as follows: An Act Imposing Excise Tax on Single-Use Plastic Bags, amending for the purpose Section 288 and adding a new Section 150-C in the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept the amendment, Madam Speaker.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
That's all, Madam Speaker,
Thank
for the
you.
amendments.
Majority
Thank you
Leader.
very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much, the Honorable Ria Vergara.
Madam Speaker, there being no other individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendment.
There's a motion to close the period of individual amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill 4102 as amended.
There's a motion to approve the said bill as amended. Those are in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. The motion is the House Bill 4102 is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez from the PC Asia FAC Fiscal Analysis Capacity Training Program participants, namely the Cambodia SN Director General of Research, Soun Puthavi. Next, the PC Asia instructor, Kem Sothorn. Next, Cambodia SN BRD, Nop Chanti. From the National Assembly, we have Long Bunhav, Fal Sophobanya, Tauk Chan Ratana, Wonsai Fonevilai, And from the Cambodia Senate, we have namely Jaya Tavut Sophevi, Chek Kea, Nguyen Sengho, Sen Shanto, and Sonny Monairat.
To the guests of the Honorable Speaker's Department, Director General of Research, Cambodia National Assembly, welcome to the House of Representatives.
Madam Speaker, so that we may be given enough time to welcome our guests, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes so that our colleagues in the House of Representatives can get to know our counterparts from the beautiful country of Cambodia.
Session suspended.
Vice. Pababa. Kailangan other. Yun ang kinwestiyon na. Am I not allowed? Under my... Did we disqualify? Para may sariling electoral requirements. Thank you. Yung MI, ang gusto nila kung may election, mananalo na naman sila. So, tinatarget nila yung mga dynasties. Yes, boss. No problem.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 4122 under Committee Report number 25. And for this purpose, may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the measure.
House Bill 4122, an act imposing value-added tax on digital transactions in the Philippines, amending for the purpose sections 105, 108, 109, 110, 113, 114, and 236, and adding a new section 105-A of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that we have terminated the period of sponsorship and debate. Madam Speaker, I now move that we open the period of amendments.
There's a motion to open the period of amendments. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Ria Vergara, sponsor of House Bill number 4122.
The Honorable Ria Vergara is recognized. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I move that we proceed with the individual amendments.
There's a motion to proceed to individual amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Rita Robes for her individual amendments.
The Honorable Rita Robes is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Sponsor, may I propose the following amendments to House Bill number 4122 under Committee Report number 25. On page 13, Madam Sponsor, are you willing to yield? So sorry to forget that.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. On page 13, line 9, insert a new Section 8, amending Section 115 of the National Revenue NIRC of 1997 as amended. Said section shall now read as follows. Section 8, Section 115 of the National Internal Revenue Code NIRC of 1997 as amended is hereby further amended to read as follows. Section 115, power of the Commissioner to suspend the business operations of taxpayer. The Commissioner or his authorized representative is hereby empowered to suspend the business operations and temporarily close the business establishments of any person for any of the following violations.
What does
Fail-
the...
What-
Continue.
Madam Speaker, we accept the proposed amendments.
What does the House say?
Madam Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
There's a motion to approve the said amendment. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Let's proceed to letter B, Madam Sponsor. Failure of any person to register required under Section 236. The temporary closure of the establishment shall be for the duration of less than 5 days and shall be lifted and only upon compliance with whatever requirements prescribed by the Commissioner in the closure order. The temporary closure contemplated under the section shall include the suspension of business operations in the Philippines of a digital service provider as defined in Section 105 of this code.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, we accept the amendment.
What does the sponsor say? Accept the amendment?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
The amendment is accepted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Now let's proceed to number 2. On page 14, line 19, insert a new section amending Section 288 of the National Internal Revenue Code NIRC of 1997 as amended. Said section shall now read as follows. Section 9, Section 288 of the National Internal Revenue Code NIRC of 1997 as amended is hereby under further amended to read as follows. Section 288, disposition of incremental revenues. Madam Sponsor.
What does the sponsor say?
We accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Amendment accepted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And letter H, incremental revenues from the value-added tax on digital service providers. 5% of the incremental revenue from the imposition of the value-added taxes on digital service providers under Section 108 shall be allocated to and used exclusively for the creative industries, including fan established under Republic Act Number 11904. Madam Sponsor.
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. Speaker, we strongly support this amendment.
Is there any objection on the part of the House? There being none, the amendment is accepted.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. And number 3, the succeeding sections will be renumbered accordingly. And number 4, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, would you like to comment on number 3, the succeeding sections will be renumbered accordingly?
We accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
What does the majority leader say, Your Honor?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection from the House? Chair is none. Motion is approved.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And let's now proceed to item number 4. On page 15, line 8, after the acronym DICT, insert the phrase, and the National Telecommunications Commission, NTC, said, section shall now read as follows. Section 11, implementing rules and regulations. The Department of Finance, the DOF, upon the recommendation of the BIR and in coordination with the Department of Information and Communication Technology, known as DICT, and the National Telecommunication Commission, NTC, shall issue rules and regulations for the effective implementation of this act not later than 90 days after its approval. Madam Sponsor.
Mr. Speaker, we accept the amendment.
What does the majority leader say?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection on the part of the House? Since the chair hears none, motion is approved.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And number 5, and finally, on the title of the measure, insert the new sections 115 and 288 under the amended sections. The new title shall now read as follows. An act imposing value-added tax on digital transactions in the Philippines, amending for the purpose sections 105, 108, 109, 110, 113, 114, 115, 236, and 288, and also adding a new section 105-A of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended. Madam Sponsor.
Mr. Speaker, we accept this last amendment.
What is the pleasure of the majority leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the good sponsor of the bill and of course our committee, and to you, Majority Floor Leader. Magandang hapon po.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Alan T. of the LPGMA party list for his individual amendments.
The Honorable Alan C. is recognized. You may proceed, Your Honor. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in the absence of the Honorable Alan T., I move, and there being no other individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
There is a motion to close the period of amendments. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill number 4122 as amended.
There is a motion to approve House Bill 4122 on second reading as amended. As many as are in favor, please say aye. As many are against, say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 4122 is approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 4339 under Committee Report number 27. And for this purpose, may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 4339.
House Bill 4339, an act amending sections 6, 22, 24, 27, 28, 32, 34, 37, 38, 39, 42, 51, 52, 54, 56, 57, 73, 108, 109, 112, 121, 122, 123, 127, 149, 179, 176, 179, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 87, 190, 195, 198, 199, 204, 222, 237, 237-A, 255, 256, 257, 258, 261, 263, 264, 266, 275, inserting new section 270-A and repealing sections 175, 177, 178, 180, 188, 192, and 193, all under Republic Act 8424, otherwise known as the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997, as amended.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of the bill is that we have terminated the period of sponsorship and debate. Mr. Speaker, I now move that we open the period of amendments.
There is a motion to open the period of amendments for House Bill 4339. Is there an objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Mika Swansing, sponsorship of House Bill number 4339.
The Honorable Swansing is recognized for her sponsorship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I move that we proceed with the individual amendments.
There is a motion to proceed with the individual amendments. Is there any objection? Chair is none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Ria Vergara for her individual amendments.
The Honorable Ria Vergara is recognized for her individual amendments.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Is the honorable sponsor, my fellow colleague, Kong Son Sing, amenable to several amendments?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I would be very happy to consider the amendments from the Honorable Ria Vergara.
The lady may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, on page 8, line 2, kindly delete letter S in the word participations.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
What does the majority leader say?
Mr. Speaker, on the behalf of the majority, we approve the amendment.
Is there an objection on the part of the House? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the same page, line 14, we delete the phrase more than 19 and instead replace with the phrase 20 or more.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Majority Leader?
On behalf of the majority, we approve the amendment.
Is there any objection on the part of the House? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On page 9, line 14, we likewise delete the phrase more than 19 and also replace it with the phrase 20 or more.
What does the honorable sponsor say on the amendment?
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the majority, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the House? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Still on page 9, lines 16 and 17, we delete also the phrase more than 19 and replace with 20 or more.
Madam Sponsor, what
I
is
accept
your...
the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the majority, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection with regard to the amendment from the body? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on page 11, line 27, delete the open bracket before the word at.
Madam Sponsor,
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the majority, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the part of the plenary? There being none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on the same page, line 28, delete the close bracket after the phrase 20%.
What does the sponsor say on the amendment?
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on the behalf of the majority, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the amendment? The chair hears none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On page 12, line 4, delete the comma after the word arrangements and replace it with a period.
Madam Sponsor,
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the majority, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the amendment? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, on page 12 also, line 5, delete the phrase according to the following schedule and delete the succeeding table.
Madam Sponsor,
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the amendment on the part of the House? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on page 17, line 25, after the word tax, insert the phrase of 20%.
That's honorable sponsor.
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
What does the Majority Leader say?
Mr. Speaker, we approve of the amendment.
Is there any objection to the proposed amendment on the part of the plenary? The chair hears none. Amendment is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on page 17, line 28, delete the comma after the word arrangements and replace it with a period.
Madam Sponsor,
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection on the part of the plenary? Chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on the same page, line 29, delete the phrase according to the following schedule and delete the succeeding table.
What does the sponsor say on the amendment?
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, we approve of the amendment.
is there any objection to the proposed amendment? There being none, the amendment is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on page 40, after line 8, we propose a new section numbered 27, which shall read as follows. Section 27, Section 130 of the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997, as amended, is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 130, Filing of Return and Payment of Excise Tax on Domestic Products. Persons liable to file a return, filing of return on removal and payment of tax. 1. Persons liable to file a return. 2. Time for filing of return and payment of the tax. 3. Place for filing of the return and payment of the tax. 4. Exceptions. B. Determination of gross selling price of goods subject to ad valorem tax. Unless otherwise provided, the price, excluding the value-added tax, at which the goods are sold at wholesale in the place of production or importation or through their sales agents to the public, shall constitute the gross selling price. if the manufacturer or importer also sells or allows such goods to be sold at wholesale in another establishment of which he is the owner or in the profits of which he has an interest, the wholesale price in such establishment shall constitute the gross selling price. Should such price be less than the cost of manufacture or importation, plus expenses incurred until the goods are finally sold, then a proportionate margin of profit, not less than 10% of such manufacturing or importation costs and expenses, shall be added to constitute the gross selling price.
What does the sponsor say on the proposed amendment?
I accept the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
What does the majority leader say?
Mr. Speaker, on the behalf of the majority, we approve of the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection on the part of the House on the proposed amendment? Chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And the last amendment, sir, renumber the succeeding sections accordingly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Sponsor.
Majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
There is a motion to close the period of amendments on House Bill 4339. Is there any objection? Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on the second reading of House Bill number 4339 as amended.
There is a motion to approve on second reading House Bill 4339 as amended. As many as are in favor, please say aye. As many are against, say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 4339 is approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session.
Session suspended. Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker,
Majority Leader.
Sir Speaker, I move that we proceed with the business for the day.
There is a motion to proceed with the business for the day. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Sir Speaker, I move that we proceed with the consideration of House Bill number 5 under Committee Report number 65 and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the House Bill.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill number 5.
House Bill number 5, an act establishing an on-site, in-city, near-city, or off-city local government resettlement program for informal settler families in accordance with the People's Plan and mandating the implementing local government unit jointly with the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development in cases of near-city or off-city resettlement to provide other basic services and livelihood components in favor of the recipient local government unit, amending for the purpose RA 7279 as amended, otherwise known as the Urban Development and Housing Act of 1992.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Chair of the Committee on Housing to deliver the sponsorship speech.
The Chairperson of the Committee on Housing, the Honorable Benitez, is recognized for his sponsorship speech.
Mr. Speaker and colleagues in the House of the People, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. It is my honor to sponsor House Bill number 5, authored by the Honorable Speaker Martin Romualdez on behalf of the Committee on Housing and Urban Development. Indeed, it is a distinct honor to sponsor a vital piece of legislation that not only seeks to address the housing backlog of the country, but also provides sustainability in the country's march toward urban development. 3 decades since the enactment of Republic Act number 7279, or the Urban Development and Housing Act, providing affordable and sustainable housing to the homeless and the underprivileged, continues to be an enormous national challenge. Population growth and the unabated rise in rural to urban migration has been driving the higher demand for housing in the cities, further intensified by the government's massive infrastructure program and the clearing of danger zones. Land for socialized housing has generally become unaffordable, and the people are forced to live at the outskirts, oftentimes without access to employment opportunities or basic services. For some time, the government addressed this problem by the relocation of informal settler families to off-city resettlement sites, denying them their rights to the city. This pushes them to return to the city where they find regular sources of income to meet their needs and perhaps more importantly, their aspirations for a better life. House Bill number 5 aims to mainstream on-site and in-city resettlement for informal settler families, recognizing the contribution of many of them to the engine that drives the city's economy. Settlements as near as possible to their current residence and livelihood, with better housing conditions will be prioritized. Under this bill, the families remain close to their jobs, the children's education will not be disrupted, and basic services given by the city shall remain within their reach. Only when on-site and in-city relocation is not feasible shall near-city or off-city relocation even be considered, and then only in proper and due consultation with the affected communities and with a people's plan. By institutionalizing on-site or in-city relocation, the state shall be able to provide affordable and sustainable housing programs with minimal to no dislocation, no loss of livelihood, and no loss of access to basic services, and as ensured and mandated under Section 9 and Section 10 of Article 13 of the Philippine Constitution. This measure shall go a long way in helping us address our long-standing and recalcitrant urban inequalities in our cities. This bill by Speaker Romualdez is the same bill passed on third reading in the 18th Congress after much deliberation and debate, but lacked material time in the Senate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to sponsor this very important measure, and I urge the approval of this measure. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, honorable colleagues of the House of Representatives. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you also, Representative Francisco Benitez, Chairperson of the Housing and Urban Development Committee. Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 5.
There is a motion to suspend consideration of House Bill number 5. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we proceed with the consideration of House Bill number 5719 under Committee Report number 99, and that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Is there any objection to the motion? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 5719.
House Bill 5719, an act integrating a comprehensive study of Philippine history during World War II into the higher education curriculum.
Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Congressman Mark Go to deliver the sponsorship speech.
The Honorable Chairperson of the Higher and Technical Education, the Representative Mark Go from the Lone District of Baguio City, is recognized for his sponsorship speech.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues. It is with pride and honor that I stand before this august chamber to sponsor House Bill 5719 under Committee Report 99, which is an act integrating a comprehensive study of Philippine history during World War II into the higher education curriculum. This is in substitution of House Bill number 933, introduced by our good friend Pasig Representative Roman Romulo, and House Bill 4157, authored by the 2nd District of Northern Samar Representative Harris Christopher Ongchuan. Mr. Speaker, Article 2, Section 13 of the 1987 Constitution emphasizes that it is the policy of the state to recognize the vital role of the youth in nation building and shall promote and protect their physical, moral, spiritual, intellectual, and social being. It also urges the state to inculcate in the youth patriotism and nationalism and to encourage their involvement in public and civic affairs. Mr. Speaker, patriotism and nationalism are more than just loving our country. These values are crucial for the Filipino youth to be able to gradually develop a sense of national identity and pride in their country. Thus, to reawaken these important traits, it is necessary to educate the youth about the heroic deeds of Filipino veterans, guerrillas, and citizens during the Second World War through stories, examples, and illustrations, which the bill aims to achieve. This can inspire the youth and give them the opportunity to reflect on the heroism of Filipinos and make them feel that our country is worth fighting for. It will also aim to foster love of humanity, respect for human rights, and appreciation of the role of Filipino heroes in the historical development of our country. Mr. Speaker, the Philippines is a treasured trove of World War II history. During World War II, the Philippines, then led by a Commonwealth under the United States, was invaded and occupied by Japanese forces for nearly 4 years. Many Filipinos were killed, and our country suffered extensive damage. More than 1,000 women were also abducted and subjected to brutal slavery. The war lasted only for over 3 years, from 1941 to 1945. Despite the short duration of the war, it was still a significant historical event that had lasting implications to our country even up to this time. Such focus on World War II not only gives emphasis on this historical event over other wars the Philippines has been involved in, but also denotes other historical conflicts that also deserve proper attention. More importantly, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, it is high time for all of us to know that our Filipino heroes during World War II and realize that what should be recognized as heroic deeds worthy of emulation and inspiration are those performed by no less than our fellow Filipinos, the real heroes who fought to save our motherland. Hence, this measure, Mr. Speaker, mandates all higher educational institutions in our country to integrate a comprehensive study of history during World War II. Mr. Speaker, I believe that the heroism and bravery of Filipinos who fought during World War II really deserves to be told, especially to the present and future generation. Again, I wish that our colleagues in this chamber will join me in pushing for the immediate passage of this bill. Again, thank you very much and good afternoon.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Manuel for his manifestation.
The Honorable Manuel is recognized for his manifestation.
Magandang hapon, Mr. Speaker, at sa buting sponsor ng panukalang batas na ito. We join the sponsor and the authors in pushing for the passage of this bill. Ito ay sang-ayon sa ating mga layunin na i-instill sa ating mga kabataan sa iba't ibang mga paraan ang pagmamahal sa ating bayan at ang pag-aaral ng ating kasaysayan bilang gabay sa paano tunay na susulong at uunlad ng ating bansa. I'd like to float, Mr. Speaker, and to our sponsor na mainam din na madagdagan natin yung mga iba't ibang ahensya na pwedeng tumulong pa dun sa pag-craft ng curriculum at implementation nitong panukalang batas. So I'd specify some agencies as proposed amendments, but one of them, Mr. Speaker, would be the National Historical Commission. So we hope that later on our sponsor would be open to including such agency and maybe other agencies that can help for us to truly realize the objectives of this bill. Yun lang, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor.
Mr. Speaker, we will consider the suggestion of Honorable Raul, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, the manifestation is noted. The Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we close the period of sponsorship and debate.
There is a motion to close the period of sponsorship. Is there any objection? Chair is none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the session for 1 minute.
Session suspended.
Sige, i-manifest mo. Oh, sige, yes. Yeah, thank you. Sige. Thank you.
Session resume.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
On what particular?
Committee amendments,
On House
Your
Bill
Honor.
5719.
House Bill number 5719.
There is a motion to open the period of amendments on House Bill 5719. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee amendments, I move that we proceed with individual amendments.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is approved. We proceed now with the individual amendments.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Manuel for his amendments.
The Honorable Manuel is recognized.
Yes, magandang hapon ulit, Mr. Speaker. This representation would like to move that we amend Section 2, line 18 of House Bill 5719 to read, develop in close collaboration with the National Historical Commission of the Philippines and the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, Department of National Defense.
What does the sponsor say on the proposed amendment?
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the amendment.
There's a motion to approve the proposed amendment. Is there any objection from the plenary? There being none, motion to amend is approved.
Mr. Speaker, in line with that, I'd also like to move that other provisions that mention the Philippine Veterans Affairs Office, DND, will also include the National Historical Commission of the Philippines so that they can aid in the implementation of this bill.
What does the sponsor say of the additional amendment?
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the majority, I move to adopt the amendments.
There is a motion to adopt the amendments. Is there any objection from the floor? The chair is done. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that you suspend the session.
Session is suspended. Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Manuel for his
The Honorable Manuel
individual
is
amendment.
recognized.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, to specify the details of the motion that I laid down before, in particular, Mr. Speaker, I move that we amend Section 3, line 5 of House Bill 5719 to read, the CHED shall, in coordination with the National Historical Commission of the Philippines and the PVAO-DND, formulate and issue the rules and regulations necessary, and so on, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say of the details of the amendment?
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
What does the Majority Leader say?
I move to approve the amendments, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to approve the amendment in details. Is there any objection from the floor? The chair is done. Motion is approved.
And finally, Mr. Speaker, I move that we amend Section 3, line 11 of House Bill 5719 to read, faculty members and students may also be invited jointly by CHED, the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, and PVAO-DND to participate.
What does the sponsor say?
I accept, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Majority Leader.
I move to approve the amendments.
There's a motion to approve or adopt the amendment. Is there any objection from the body? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no more individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
There's a motion to close the period of individual amendments. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading House Bill number 5719 as amended.
There is a motion to approve on second reading House Bill 5719 as amended. As many as are in favor, say aye.
Aye.
As many as are against, say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 5719, as amended, is hereby approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the session.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill number 988 under Committee Report 75 and request the Secretary General to read the title.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 988.
House Bill 988, an act increasing the service incentive leave of employees, amending for the purpose Article 95 of Presidential Decree number 442 as amended, otherwise known as the Labor Code of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the author, Honorable Mark Go, to sponsor the said measure.
The author of the bill, the Honorable Representative Marco, is recognized to sponsor the bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished colleagues, today I have the privilege of sponsoring House Bill 988 under Committee Report 75, which seeks to increase the number of service incentive leave employees are entitled to from 5 days to 10 days. Article 95 of the Labor Code entitles an employee who has rendered at least 1 year of service to service incentive leave of 5 days. The Code further provides that employers granting vacation leaves of at least 5 days shall already be deemed compliant with the mandatory grant of SIL. In the private sector, entitlement to more than leave credits or any form of leave is usually left at the discretion of the employer. or in some cases are on established company policies or a collective bargaining agreement when applicable. In comparison, officials and employees in the government are entitled to 15 days of vacation leave and 15 days of sick leave under the civil service rules. This benefit available to government workers is an overt recognition by the state of the necessity of leave entitlements in building a healthy and competent workforce. The current mandate of 5-day incentive leave under the Labor Code leave employees in the private sector vulnerable to to sickness, emergencies, and other fortuitous events that could cost them days of unpaid work. Leave entitlements are essential in promoting physical and mental health in the workplace and secures for employees the opportunity to sustain work-life balance. The welfare of labor is crucial in the continuous growth of any business and of our economy in general. Such incentive would minimize health and safety risks, reduce absenteeism, and boost the morale and satisfaction of employees, which are then manifested in increased productivity. For the information of everyone, the same bill was approved by the House of Representatives on third and final reading during the last Congress. But for lack of material time, the Senate was unable to act on the proposed measure. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, it is my hope that this time both Congress would be able to pass this measure as a resounding support in upholding the welfare of Filipino labor. Towards this end, the immediate consideration and approval of this measure is earnestly sought. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the consideration of House Bill number 988.
There is a motion to suspend consideration of House Bill number 988. Is there an objection? Chair is none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session is suspended.
Nagpakuha ako ng local naman. Sana mawawala.
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance to our rules, I move for the omnibus approval on second reading of the following local bills. House Bill 5555 as contained in Committee Report 72. House Bill 5556 as contained in Committee Report 73. House Bill 5596 as contained in Committee Report 81. House Bill 5597 as contained in Committee Report 82. House Bill 5598 as contained in Committee Report 83. House Bill 5599 as contained in Committee Report 84. House Bill 5603 as contained in Committee Report 85. House Bill 5604 as contained in Committee Report 86. House Bill 5605 as contained in Committee Report 87. House Bill 5609 as contained in Committee Report 88. House Bill 5611 as contained in Committee Report 90. House Bill 5653 as contained in Committee Report 91. And may I request the Secretary General to read the title of the aforementioned House bills.
There is a motion to approve on there is a motion to take up the House bills as stated by the Majority Leader. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the aforesaid House bills.
House Bill 5555, an act creating a barangay in the municipality of Norsagaray, province of Bulacan, to be known as Barangay Friendship Village Resources or Barangay FVR. House Bill 5556, an act declaring July 22 of every year a special non-working holiday in the municipality of Kawit, province of Cavite, in commemoration of its foundation day. House Bill 5596, an act declaring the immediate environs of the San Pablo Church located in the municipality of San Pablo, province of Isabela, a tourism destination. House Bill 5597, an act declaring the Bakawan Eco Park in Barangay New Buswang, municipality of Calibo, province of Aklan, an eco-tourism zone. House Bill 5598, an act declaring the province of Southern Leyte a tourism zone. House Bill 5599, an act declaring Wawa Dam in the municipality of Rodriguez, province of Rizal, an eco-tourism destination. House Bill 5603, an act declaring the Pinandagatan Falls, located in Barangay New Tubigon, municipality of Sibagat, province of Agusan del Sur, an ecotourism site. House Bill 5604, an act declaring the Managong Waterfalls, located in Barangay Padjay, municipality of Sibagat, province of Agusan del Sur, an ecotourism site. House Bill 5605, an act mandating the inclusion of the Arevalo Plaza in the Iloilo City Cultural Heritage Tourism Zone, amending for the Purpose Republic Act number 10555, entitled An Act Declaring the Haro Cathedral Molo Church, the Iloilo City Central Business District, Fort San Pedro, Haro Plaza Complex, Molo Plaza Complex, and Plaza Libertad Complex, all located in the city of Iloilo as Cultural Heritage Tourism Zone. House Bill 5609, an act declaring Ulot River in the municipality of Paranas, province of Samar, an ecotourism destination. House Bill 5611, an act declaring Sohotan Caves and Natural Bridge located in the municipality of Basay, province of Samar, an ecotourism site. And House Bill 5653, an act declaring the immediate environs of the diocesan shrine of St. John the Baptist Church, also known as Taong Putik, Dambana ni San Juan Bautista, province and barangay Bibiklat, municipality of Aliaga, province of Nueva Ecija, as a tourism destination.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
There is a motion to terminate the period of sponsorship and debate on the aforementioned bills. Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the committee amendments as contained in the respective committee reports of the aforementioned House bills, if any.
Is there any objection? Chair is none, motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve on second reading the aforementioned House bills.
There's a motion to approve on second reading House Bills number 555, 5556, 5596, 5597, 5598, 5599, 5600, 5603, 5605, 5609, 5611, 5653. As many as are in favor, say aye. As many as are against, say nay. The ayes have it. The aforementioned bills are hereby approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Sessions resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, before we proceed, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Miguel Luis Villafuerte and Representative Hori Horibata from Camarines Sur. These are the individuals who will be representing the Philippines in the upcoming World Tournament, World Championship in North Carolina, namely Patrick Cruz, Christopher John Kimpo, Froy Joshua Endaya, Ronel Tan, Rian Dominique Magsino, Jericho Peter Ambulo, Gerald Regay, Bruce Oliven Cruz, John Kenneth Pimentel, Kennedy Roy Gingging, Jonel Buemio, Ronan Arki Eleria, Sugar Ray Alcantara, and John Edison Ubaldo.
To the guests of Congressman the Honorable Oribata and Honorable Villafuerte, to the guests, welcome to the House of the People. Palakpakan po natin yung mga guests po from Kamsur. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we resume the consideration of House Bill number 988 under Committee Report 75 and request the Secretary General to read the title.
Is there any objection? Okay. The chair is done. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the proposed House Bill.
House Bill 988, an act increasing the service incentive leave of employees, amending for the purpose Article 95 of PD 442 as amended, otherwise known as the Labor Code of the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Mark Go, the sponsor of the said bill.
The Chairman, Congressman Mark Go, is now recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have already completed my sponsorship speech. So at this point, I'm ready for any interpellation, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wish to interpellate the sponsor, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. The sponsorship and debate is now terminated. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
The period of amendments is open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee and individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
The period of amendments is now closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the bill on second reading.
There is a motion to approve the proposed House Bill number 988. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those who are against, please say ayes. The ayes have it. House Bill number 988 and CR number 75 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Resolution sa kanya.
Session resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt the following House resolutions. House Resolution 458 under Committee Report 67, and I request that the Secretary General read the said House bill.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House resolution.
House Resolution 458, resolution congratulating and commending the Tribu Lumad Basakanon of Barangay Basak, San Nicolas, Cebu City, for winning the gold medal in the international category of the powerful Daegu Festival 2022 in Daegu City, South Korea.
Majority Leader.
I move that we adopt House Resolution 458, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 458. All those who are in favor, please say aye. And those who are against, please say aye. The ayes have it. So House Resolution number 458 is hereby adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 482 under Committee Report 78, and we instruct the Secretary General to read the said measure.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House resolution.
House Resolution 482, resolution commending and congratulating Gregorio G. Villar III, Genevieve V. Young, and Edward Gonzalez for their vital role in ensuring the success of the exploration mission to the planet Mars launched by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration of the United States of America.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 482.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 482 and Committee Report number 78. Those who are in favor, please say aye. And those who are against, please say aye. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 482 and CR number 70 is now adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 470 under Committee Report 70 and instruct the Secretary General to read the said measure.
The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House resolution.
House Resolution 470, resolution congratulating Filipino-Japanese karateka Juna Chuki and commending her for becoming the first Filipino to win the gold medal in the women's Kumite 50-kilogram event in the 2022 World Games held in Birmingham, Alabama, USA.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 470.
There is a motion to adopt the House Resolution number 470, Committee Report number 70. Those who are in favor, please say aye. And those who are against, please say yea. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 470 is now adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 483 under Committee Report 79 and instruct the Secretary General to read the said measure.
There is a motion. The chair is none. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House Resolution number 483.
House Resolution 483, resolution congratulating and commending the Philippine Taekwondo national team for winning gold, silver, and bronze medals in the 2022 Chuncheon, Korea Open International Taekwondo Championships held on June 29 to July 5, 2022.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 483.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 483. And those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. And those who are against, please say aye. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 480 is now being adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 492 under Committee Report 93 and direct the Secretary General to read the said measure.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House Resolution number 492.
House Resolution 492, resolution congratulating the Filipino youth weightlifters for their outstanding performances in the Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championships held in Tanchek, Uzbekistan on July 15 to 25, 2022, and commending the coaches and the officials of the Samahang Weightlifting ng Pilipinas Incorporated for their able mentorship and unwavering support.
Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 492 as contained in Committee Report 93.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 492. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 492 is now adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 493 as contained in Committee Report 94, and may I request the Secretary General to read the title of the said resolution.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the resolution number 493.
House Resolution 493, resolution congratulating the members of the Philippine Women's National Football Team for winning the country's first ever ASEAN Football Federation Women's Championship held in Manila on July 4 to 17, 2022, and commending the officials of the Philippine Football Federation and the coaching and management staff of the Philippine Women's National Football Team for their vital role, able mentorship, and unwavering support.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 493 as contained in Committee Report 94.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 493. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 493, Committee Report number 94 is now being adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 496 as contained in Committee Report 96, and may I request that the Secretary General read the title of the said resolution.
The chair is none. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the resolution.
House Resolution 496, resolution congratulating the members of the Philippine National Esports Teams, CBOL, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang Squad, and Women's League of Legends, Wild Rift Squad for winning gold medals in the 31st Southeast Asian Games held in Hanoi, Vietnam on May 12 to 23, 2022, and commending the respective coaches and officials of the Philippine Esports Organization for their able mentorship and support.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 496 as contained in Committee Report 96.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 496. All those in favor, please say aye. And those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 496, Committee Report number 96 is now adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 497 as contained in Committee Report 97, and may I request that the Secretary General read the title of the said resolution.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the House Resolution number 497.
House Resolution 497, resolution congratulating the members, coaches, and chief the mission of the Philippine Paralympic team and officials of the Philippine Paralympic Committee, and commending them for the country's all-time best performance in the 11th Association of Southeast Asian Nations Para Games held in Surakarta, Indonesia on July 30 to August 6, 2022.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 497 as contained in Committee Report 97.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 497. All those who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. And those who are against, please say aye. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 497 is now adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Sessions resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following House resolutions to the appropriate committees. House Resolution 342 to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture. House Resolution 344 to the Committee on Labor and Employment. House Resolution 376 to the Committee on Ecology. House Resolution 379 to the Committee on Agriculture and Food. House Resolution 394 to the Committee on Transportation and Overseas Workers Affairs. House Resolution 396 to the Committee on Justice. House Resolution 400 to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology. House Resolution 409 to the Committee on Energy. House Resolution 411 to the Committee on Natural Resources. House Resolution 412 to the Committee on Information and Communications Technology. House Resolution 413 to the Committee on Health. House Resolution 430 to the Committee on Natural Resources. House Resolution 431 to the Committee on Tourism. House Resolution 444 to the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation. House Resolution 449 to the Committee on Natural Resources. House Resolution 451 to the Committee on Creative Industry and Performing Arts. House Resolution 453 to the Committee on Welfare of Children. House Resolution 457 to the Committee on Communications Technology. House Resolution 461 to the Committee on Health. House Resolution 462 to the Committee on Health. House Resolution 463 to the Committee on Games and Amusements. House Resolution 465 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. House Resolution 468 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. House Resolution 471 to the Committee on Population and Family Relations. House Resolution 472 to the Committee on Transportation. House Resolution 473 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. House Resolution 475 to the Committee on Energy. House Resolution 476 to the Committee on Appropriations. House Resolution 477 to the Committee on Local Government, Muslim Affairs and Peace, Reconciliation and Unity. House Resolution 478 to the Committee on Basic Education and Culture. House Resolution 479 to the Committee on Labor and Employment. House Resolution 480 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. House Resolution 484 to the Committee on Public Order and Safety. House Resolution 485 to the Committee on Transportation. House Resolution 487 to the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation. House Resolution 490 to the Committee on Ways and Means. And last but not the least, House Resolution 491 to the Committee on Human Rights.
There is a motion to refer the following House resolution from House Resolution number 342 up to House Resolution 491. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. House resolutions are now referred to the appropriate committee. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, pursuant to our rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer the following speeches to the appropriate committees. Privileged speech of Representative Teves, delivered on September 12, 2022, to the Committee on Appropriations. The privileged speech of Representative Vergara, delivered on September 12, 2022, to the Committee on Agriculture and Food. Speech of Rep. Busita, delivered on September 19, 2022, to the Committee on Transportation. The speech of Congresswoman Villarica, delivered on September 19 to the Committee on Health. The privileged speech of Representative Dagook, delivered on September 19 to the Committee on Energy. And the privileged speech of Representative Mastura delivered on September 19, 2022 to the Committee on Justice. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to refer the following speeches to the appropriate committees. Is there any objection? The chair hearing none. The following privileged speeches of the following members are now referred to the appropriate committees. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the change of referral of the following measures. House Bill numbers 18, 648, 1503, 2682, and 3704, amending Republic Act number 9184, otherwise known as the Government Procurement Reform Act, from the Committee on Appropriations to the Committee on Revisions of Laws. House Bill number 492, institutionalizing a 10-year master plan for flood management, from the Committees on Metro Manila Development and Public Work and Highways to the Committee on Public Works and Highways. House Bill numbers 558, 1200, 1286, 1530, 1583, 1619, 3018, and 3512, expanding the purpose and application of the Special Education Fund from the Committee on Basic Education and Culture to the Committees on Local Government and Basic Education and Culture. House Bill number 594, further strengthening the standard of protection and enhancement of the welfare of self-employed workers and craftsmen and the promotion of entrepreneurship, from the Committee on Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Development to the Committee on Labor and Employment. House Bill number 4621, declaring July 12 of every year as a special working holiday in the entire country to commemorate the historic decision of the Permanent Court of Arbitration, PCA, in favor of Philippine sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea, from the Special Committee on West Philippine Sea to the Committee on Revision of Laws. House Bill number 4877, creating the Philippine Boxing and Combat Commission, from the Committee on Games and Amusements to the Committees of Government Reorganization and Games and Amusements. House Bill number 5010, promoting safe alternative mobility by establishing a network of pop-up bicycle lanes and emergency pathways, from the Committee on Transportation to the Committee on Transportation and Sustainable Development Goals. House Bill number 5090, establishing Safe Pathways Network, from the Committee on Transportation to the Committees on Transportation and Sustainable Development Goals. House Bill number 526, providing for a comprehensive atomic regulatory framework, from the Committees on Government Reorganization, Science and Technology and Energy to the Special Committee on Nuclear Energy. House Bill Resolution number 333, resolution urging the National Electrification Administration to exercise its mandate under Republic Act number 10531 to promote the welfare of the people of the province of Isabela against a dismal performance of the Isabela Electric Cooperative 1 and Isabela Electric Cooperative 2. From the Committee on North Luzon Growth Quadrangle to Committees on Energy and North Luzon Growth Quadrangle. Also, privileged speech of Honorable Eno D, entitled Power to the People, delivered on August 30, 2022, from Committee on North Luzon Growth Quadrangle to the Committee
Of referral to the following measures read by the Majority Leader 1 to 10, and one privileged speech by Rep. Eno D is now approved for the
to be co-authors in certain bills. I move that we include the additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 5, 227, 454, 924, 988, 1270, 1509, 4477, 4479, 4513, 5287, 5610, 5693, 5702, and 5719 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules. So moved.
There is a motion to include additional co-authors from House Bill number 5, what the Majority Leader read a while ago. Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr.
Majority
Speaker,
Leader,
I move that we suspend session.
session suspended. Oo, sige. Ay, okay na, no? Wala yan. Sa Monday. Turn ko na.
Ang warm bodies.
Dati di ba biyahe kayo ng biyahe? Ngayon nagkailan ka. Dati sama kayo. Kanya para pag hindi mo kakilala, para lapitin si Mike. Sundo mo. Doon, malalaman. Ako yung ano niya. May malaman ng bus eh. Pero lumalaban. Kaliit lang yun, ilang bang butante lang yun, wala yun.
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adjourn session to November 9, 2 p.m. Wednesday.
Is there any objection? Session is adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, November 9 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Thank you, boss.
Recording stopped.
Oh, no, that's mix. McKinley. Picture na naman.